Alright, hey everybody, so this is going to be a quick review on subwoofer stands. So I'm going to start off with, right now I'm using EKX series from EVs. This is an 18-inch sub and a 12-inch top, and obviously this has the M20 thread in it, so it's the smaller thread than some of the subs have a bigger hole in it. This is a threaded one, so you have to twist it. Right now this is the K&M stand. And if you know anything about K&M products, you know that pretty much everything they make is really high quality. All of my microphone stands are K&M, and I've never had one issue with them. I've owned them for 15 years. They work exactly the same. Really high quality. Whenever you get something K&M, it's going to be really heavy steel, so it's going to make things weigh a little bit more, but it's also going to be better quality, and it's going to stand up over time as far as I'm concerned. So this is the K&M 21367, I believe. 21367. I'll put a link in the description. So the great thing about this one is that it has this ring lock right here. Okay, so you can loosen it up, and whenever you have a speaker like an EV or even a QSC, I haven't tried other brands, but they can get wobbly here on top, and I'll show you that with the other brands, the speaker poles that I put up next. But this one, for a second, just so you know, this is just a tightening mechanism right here. If you loosen that up, then you pull this, and you have these different holes that you can go to. You have, looks like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different holes that you can go to. So here, we'll just put it on the lowest one for now, or the second to lowest one. It locks in place, and then you can turn this, and you can just tighten it up. It's just an extra tightening mechanism. Okay, and then you make sure that this is loose, and then you take your speaker, put it on top, and if you notice, depending upon where you are and how level the surface is, your speaker could be wobbling to one side or to like that, and it can look kind of funny. So you just take your ring lock and you move it to where you want it to go, and you tighten it, and that thing's not going anywhere now. The other thing about this K&M stand is that it's, like I said, really high quality steel and is heavier, but looks similar to the EV one. Now the EV one looks pretty much exactly the same, but it doesn't have the ring lock on top. It just has a regular top to it, but it does have the same sort of things on the sides here, okay? And same deal, pull this out, goes up and down. I think this one has 4 levels, 1, 2, 3, 4 rather than 5, but it's basically the same thing. But I can tell just by holding it that the quality is different. It's maybe a different steel. The K&M just feels more solid. It feels maybe a pound or so heavier. It's close, but I don't know how else to describe it, but this one feels, the K&M feels solid, and the EV feels just a little bit lighter and a little bit flimsier. But the main thing that I don't like about the EV is the wobble factor to it. So if you have QSCs, at least the old QSC, the K series, there was a little dial in the middle, and while that could give you your tilt mechanism, it also acted, if you tightened it from the bottom when the speaker was on, it acted as a tightener. So it would tighten your speaker. With this one, this is the EV EKX, like I said, there's no tightener on the bottom. So depending upon the location of where you're at and how level your surface is, this speaker could look more like that or like that. So it's not the end of the world, but if you don't want any wobble whatsoever or any movement, see, I can just spin this around. Personally, I just don't like that. And it feels a little bit more unstable. I feel like I can move it around a little bit more. But it is a good quality stand, but for the price difference, the K&M I don't think is that much more, or it's very close. Now the third one that I want to show you is made by Gator. And I believe it's called the ID speaker series, and it looks like this. And the difference with this one is that I really wanted to like this because it has the hydraulic lift on it. However, let me show you why I don't like it. So, let me get it in here. Okay, so at this point you have to do this part right here, okay? And I'm going to put the speaker on it. All right, so there's a lot of movement right here, sideways, and there's a whole ton of movement up here. It's way, way, way too loose. Now, what's nice about it is that you have the hydraulic part of it, so you just pull this out, and it goes up nice and slow for you. If you want to stop it, you stop it wherever you want it. Great, but for me, that's just another thing that can break. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. If you want it to go down, then you just lightly push it down, and that's it. Now, if you do like this and you want to keep this, then one of the ways that you can fix the wobbling is with this. So this is the K&M ring lock. I don't have the exact model number on me, but if you just Googled K&M Koenig & Meyer ring lock, I'm sure that'll come up. This is more geared towards when you're just using like a regular standard speaker stand, and they work great for those as well, like a tripod stand. But if you wanted to try it on something like this, you can slide that on, and now basically it makes a K&M stand, but with a hydraulic lift. Now it's a little bit too high for these ceilings. Well, regardless, these ceilings are a little bit too low, so I'm not going to try to put that up. But speaker would go there, and then you tighten it up the same way that you tightened up the other K&M stand. But that just seemed, for me, a little bit too involved, and like I said, I just feel like, for whatever reason, there's just too much movement in this. So, bottom line, I really like the K&M one the best, and like I said, it's the K&M 21367. Really high quality, really stable. You get the ring lock on top. If you have to pole mount your subwoofers, which sometimes we do just for space requirements, I highly recommend you get this one. I got this one from Ben Stowe. Reach out to him. You'll probably get the best price.